African Student Voices is your passport to in-depth conversations about the welfare and well-being of students across higher education institutions in Africa and our society. Join us as we bring to light the concerns and perspectives of African students. We are not just talking, we are also empowering the future leaders of Africa to be informed and responsible. African Student Voices is your source of education about Africa's developmental strategies and blueprints. We are also dedicated to shaping the minds of Africa's youth. I am Jimai Madaladem Duce, your host. Be a part of the dialogue every Friday at 10 o'clock GMT, where we engage with students and various university stakeholders to address the issues that matters most and illuminate the path forward. African Student Voices, we educate, empower, and elevate. Across Africa and beyond, thousands of students graduate every year with degrees in hand, but most importantly, they find it difficult finding their foot in their various industries. So it raises an important question. Are universities truly preparing us for life after school? Or is it just about writing an exam and passing? In today's job market, we realize that employers are focused more beyond certificate. They are looking at adaptability and your skills in real world. Today, we are here on the African Student Voices show, and we want to talk about one of the present issues, the gap between degree and skills. My name is Jimai Madaladem Duce, and I have with me amazing guests. But I will go for a quick break, and when we come back, I will introduce them. You can also follow the conversation on our social media handles, Association of African Universities, on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the break, and this is African Student Voices. We're coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana. And today we're glad to have amazing guests, and we will be discussing the gap between degrees and skills. I'll give a minute to my guests to introduce themselves. I'll start with you.
Right. I am Isabella Teta Hinakwa. I work with the Association of African Universities as the Assistant TV Manager. I also play other roles, but specifically the Deputy TV Manager, and also a past student of the University of Media, Arts and Communication, specifically Institute of Journalism, then known as Ghana Institute of Journalism. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. And you are?
My name is Rosemary Dedelakwa Makwantrain. I'm a people management consultant. I manage my own consulting firm. We've been in existence for the past 13 years.
Great. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And please.
Good morning to you all. I'm Professor George Oseyeji from Accra Technical University. I'm the Dean for the Faculty of Applied Arts and originally a teacher at the Department of Science Laboratory Technology and Medical Laboratory Technology.
Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So today we are talking about one of the pressing issues or things that we realize as people in the various fields, the gap between degrees and skills. But I would want to start with you, Ms. Bella.
Okay.
Let's talk about your experience whilst in school, the things you learned, and coming onto the job market. How the experience, looking at what you've learned and what you experienced, how has it been so far?
All right, thank you. So growing up, I had wanted to be a journalist. So my mom used to sell graphics in the market. And so when I'm helping her to arrange them, she sees me holding the graphic, reading, and she asks, what do you want to be? I always say journalist. And that is what led me to the Ghana Institute of Journalism. And there I studied communication studies, but I majored in journalism. And coming to AAU, I first I did my NSP in Parliament and then came to AAU as a volunteer and currently the Deputy TV Manager. I would say it's in alignment with what I was taught. So back in school, they give you the basic, they give you the foundation, they give you the skills, technical skills that depending on this, the field you want to go, they give you that technical skills. However, aside the teacher coming to class, and let me mention some of the subjects, mass communication, we have elements of communication strategies, we have media policies. A lot of all these are some of the basic information you need to know if you want to be a communicator, if you want to be a journalist, creative writing, among others. But then there are other activities that also goes on that are needed when you come to the field. Group discussions, teamwork, presentations, all these are some of the things that are incorporated in teaching to enable the student to, be ready when they come out there. So yes, I would say personally, I would say that yes, the skills I got from school were mostly some of the things I use in AAU as a communicator. But then, I mean, as you are growing up, you get the experience, and based on personal qualities, you get promoted, and then you also learn extra things to make yourself, meeting the demands in the market.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me come to you, Madam Rosemary. Since you are an HR, you have your own consult and all that, and we're talking about students, graduates with degrees, and then what happens on the job market in terms of skill. Let's talk about, in recruiting, what do you really look out for? Because, as HR, you look at that part. You look at specific things that you would want to see in a graduate or in whoever is applying for a job. But in this case, let's limit ourselves to graduate. And you would want to see certain things beyond the certificates they have acquired. So let's look at some of what you really factor when it comes to employing some of these graduates and what you really get to experience from these graduates. With the way you're smiling.
It's an interesting question and I like it. So when we say graduates, I'll limit it to entry-level positions, isn't it? Yeah. At that point, personally, I would say that I look out for character as opposed to what it is you are bringing to, because at that level, you really don't have much apart from academic knowledge. So ability to communicate well enough, ability to think outside the box, think on your feet very quickly when you are asked questions. But the deal breaker for me is communication, how you conduct yourself and how you carry yourself. So professional etiquette within the professional working space is critical. When you are looking at the academics, until you've put the person on the job, you really don't know what the person can offer. But when you've been given an opportunity at an interview, be it formal or informal, it's your communication skills that would help you sell. CV will put one foot through the door, but it's your skills that would actually, the communication skills and how you are able to sell yourself is what would put the other foot through the door. So we are looking at how fast you are thinking on your feet, how well you're able to communicate, and how you are relating with other people whilst for that short window of opportunity. I recruit character over skills. Skills are trainable. Character is innate. You can't do much about it.
Okay, so when you find, that's what you look out for. Now, employing these graduates, how has it been? Do you realize that they really possess some of these characters, or let me say skills, or sometimes you go beyond in training them to acquire some of these things?
Or you always have to go beyond. If you take 10 candidates, maybe 2 or 3 maximum would be very proactive. They've had the opportunity of working in firms or organizations, so they've learned a few things. Some are naturally proactive. They are self-motivated. So they don't need any organization to do much. They learn
on your own.
They learn on their own. And the rest you would have to sometimes push a little. So normally, if you realize with graduate recruitment, you carry out something you call an assessment center. That's where you're putting a whole lot of people from different backgrounds and giving them a case study to work on. Why it's not the technical competence they are bringing or knowledge they are showing. It's their ability to relate well with other people. So collaboration. How well are you collaborating with other people? How well are you relating with them? So we can be 10 or 5 people sitting here. I can be so competitive. I refuse to speak to everybody and I'm thinking I'm the best thing that since sliced bread. But Have I said hello to you? Have I said hello to you? Because in a work environment, you're going to be relating with people from diverse backgrounds.
That's true.
If you don't know how to break ice from the very beginning, you find it difficult to assimilate. So you look out for all of these things, and it's just to pick up stuff, not because they have the technical knowledge.
Okay, okay, that's great. Thank you. So now let me come to you, so Prof. I'll say there appears to be a growing disconnect, let me say, when it comes to the university curricula and then industry needs. But given the prevalent opinion in Ghana that academic programs fall short sometimes, particularly in teaching some essential 21st century skills, just like Madam Rosemary mentioned, communication, problem solving, and then all that. Do you believe that the university is actually producing graduates that are competent and are ready for the outside job market?
Yeah, currently as we speak, I'll say yes. Yes, because now academia is linking up with industry to fill in the gaps. So we are reinventing the curriculum with the help of industry. So we have to sit with industry to look at the gaps, the critical skills that are needed, because at the end of the day, we are producing graduates for industry. In the worst case scenario, we have to include entrepreneurship skills so that in the absence of jobs, as in government or private, they can also think outside the box to find ways of being innovative enough to create their own jobs. So currently, that is what is ongoing.
Okay. I think you made mention of the fact that we're looking at, or maybe universities are trying to collaborate with industries. I don't know if Accra Technical University, is doing that, but I would want you to touch on if there are any collaborations that ATU is doing with some industries, because this is something good, and I think other universities could emulate as well.
Oh, yes. So as I said, I'm the dean, and then all collaborations pass through me. So I can state a number.
Yeah, you could give us
Movenpick Hotel.
Okay.
We have the Department of Hotel Catering Institutional Management.
Okay.
We have a collaboration with them. So they have various options: front door operations, food and beverage services, and they have their standard. No, it's a standard hotel. So they have the standards for all kind of production. So that is where the student comes in. So when we train without them, there are a lot of gaps. When they come in, they tell you specifically the nature of the training they need that will fit their purpose. We have also signed various MOUs with industry. When we go to the mechanical engineering side, for instance, Toyota Ghana, and then they also are into, now we take vehicles, for instance. All vehicles are moving on from manual transmission to automatic transmission, and now you have the electric transmission. So if we still want to look at the old-time mechanics who still use hammers and wrenches, now everything is electronics, digitized. So the student must be put up to speed with the trend of technology advancement so that they can cope. So those industries are there, their doors are always open. It is up to the university to reach out to them so that you engage and then reform the curriculum to meet the current needs. And we are doing that.
Okay, that's great. I'll come to you, Ms. Bella, to share your thoughts briefly on the same question. If you think universities are really training the graduates to really fit into the job market, or you think it's just about the certificate? I would say yes, in approval to what Prof made mention. So using my experience, back in school, I remember some of the courses, and they do invite industries to come and then, engage us, let us know what is happening in the real world. Also, in level 300, we were given opportunity to go and do internship, which is also one of the ways to learn what is happening outside, aside being in classroom. And like I made mention earlier, aside the lecturer or the teacher coming to the class saying that today we are learning communication, or today we are doing creative writing, they do give assignments, practical assignments, teamworks, presentations, among others. All these are some of the strategies for the students to acquire some soft skills. So I'll say yes. The schools or the universities are trying their best, but I mean there's still need for improvement on that.
Okay, so in your transition from school and now that you're working, what has been a surprising moment or a surprising demand that you encountered during your university experience and its application at the job market?
Surprising demand. Okay, so I started as a volunteer here, and I was given the role as a producer. Although I learned communication in school, when doing the implementation as a producer, one thing I learned is stakeholder engagement. I was not taught in school. Even research, although I was taught information gathering among others, but when it comes to production, it's a different way of doing your research, coming about with the content. All this I was not taught in school. Also in AAU, I must say that you may have the skill for one field, but when you come here, you'll be given extra work that you have to learn on the job, and you must be willing to learn on the job. So these were some of the things. It is there almost everywhere. Although you may have a specific skill or something that you may have been taught in school, but when you go to the field itself, you may be given multiple roles that you have to be willing to learn. And me having a characteristic or a great skill or character as a learner and achiever, it was not really a surprise to me. But a student who is only more focused on what he or she had learned in school may be a surprise, or maybe quite difficult for him or her to maneuver himself in the work.
Okay, great. I'll come to you, Madam Rosemary. How quickly do you think, when it comes to graduates, they're able to adjust at the job, or let me say, to the workplace demand? How quickly has it been for, some of them when you recruit, and the fact that, every organization operates differently. So how has it been you recruiting graduates, and how seamless has it been for their transition and their adaptability?
Like you rightly said, most organizations have different cultures.
That's true.
So, and the learning curve of everybody is different. There are those who are very proactive. So they learn very quickly, giving the opportunity. They learn. And there are some that you will need to keep pushing, and keep pushing. So I'll give you a typical example.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons why these days, most of the organizations, the banks, I'm KPMG trained. So I'm KPMG, yeah. Even in places like KPMG, you would recruit a lot of people for either internships or for national service. And during this period, some just go through the system doesn't go through them. And you don't realize that you are being watched and being monitored.
Yeah.
You see, it's how you apply yourself to whatever task or responsibilities you've been given. Do you go out of your way to help others? Or is it 5 o'clock and you're just taking your bag and going home? Whilst you see the team is in the office. Someone will say, if your boss hasn't left, why are you leaving? You don't necessarily have to stay because your boss is in there, but it's the culture of the organization. So you need to find out. It is not a one-size-fits-all kind of situation. Every organization is different.
Yeah.
In my organization, most people leave me. Yesterday, I left the office at 8. One of them left maybe 2 minutes before I did.
Okay.
Some left much earlier. It is not to say that you should stay in the office because at all costs, no. But if there's something to be done, don't leave to tomorrow what you can do today. Because tomorrow comes with its own different opportunities.
Yeah, sure.
Do it today. Extend yourself. If you don't extend yourself, so the learning curves are different. I find some who can they only need a few guidance, a bit of guidance.
Yeah.
Some you would have to push and push and push because they are so not motivated. They lack that self-motivation. So the learning curves are different, and it depends on the culture of the organization as well.
But what do you think really is you're talking about the fact that some are not motivated at all. What do you think is really the cause of that?
Upbringing, growing up. I always say, I had a conversation with someone yesterday, and the person said, oh, because of something the person saw, the person didn't have good home training. I said, no, There are people who have the best of home trainings, but they refuse the home training to go through them. They just won't learn because that is just who they are. So if you have a very good onboarding program, then it's how you are able to sieve the chaff from the wheat. It's also the reason why organizations have assuming you are being recruited properly, or like a role in perpetuity. That's why you have the period where you're on probation. Because talk is cheap. Everybody can talk. The doing is another thing. Also, execution is different from talk. So at the interview, that's where you have the opportunity of saying all the right things and projecting yourself the way you want to be seen. Now, when you've been put on the job and you're given the opportunity, how are you extending yourself or applying yourself? So during that period, it's an observation period. And these days, performance management is more proactive than it used to be, where in the past, it takes forever for somebody to give you. Giving feedback is an ongoing process. It's a daily thing. So if you are doing a proper performance evaluation or monitoring, then you are giving the person as the person, you teach the person on the job, you're also giving feedback. Do this, or these feedback processes can be formal or informal. So it depends on the culture of the organization. Some learn fast, some don't. And you realize that for those who don't, they are quickly managed out of the organization.
Managed out of the organization. Yes. Thank you. So we'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the conversation. Stay tuned. Hello Africa is your live breakfast show delivering informative, entertaining, and energizing start to your day.
Our expert reviews break down the headlines and help you make sense of today's news.
We bring you nothing but the most interesting highlights on our top African stories.
Plus lifestyle features, inspiring interviews, and the best on the continent.
Every episode is packed with stories that inform, inspire, and celebrate the spirit of the continent.
Catch us live every Monday at 9 a.m.
And be part of the conversation on our social media platforms.
Hello Africa, bringing the continent to your morning.
Welcome back from the break, and if you just joined us, this is African Student Voices. You can follow the conversation on our social media handles, Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube, and we've been talking about the gap between degree and skills. So we welcome back from the break. So I think before the break, we were talking about how students are able to adjust and the type of graduates that we employ, some who are able to adapt easily and pick up, and the others that, it takes a while. And looking at also organization cultures as well. So now there's an article here from 2025 from the Accountancy and Business Review that highlights that graduate unemployment in Tanzania is significantly influenced by a gap between university training and labor market needs, stemming from outdated curricula and insufficient practical exposure. So now I want to ask you, Professor, from your experience, where do you think the largest gap is? Is it in practical skills? Is it in the soft skill development? Or it is on industry exposure?
So from this particular publication, I will add all the three.
Okay.
So because of the gap, now the universities, especially the technical universities, are now focusing on what we call practice-oriented training, or the competence-based training approach. So in competence-based training, or the CBT mode of teaching, the emphasis is on the students to come up with key competencies. So curriculum is broken down into stages. So assuming we want to sew this shirt at the end of your training, we look at the steps through which we'll take you through. So at the end of the training, you must be able to produce this shirt with a certain specifications. Then we check you. If you are able to do exactly as it is, you have passed, competent.
Yeah.
If not, we have to now look at the stage where there is a break, then retrain you until you become competent. Again, this has also become a bit difficult looking at the numbers of students that are admitted, and it's a big challenge. So in CBT mode, you need a maximum of about 25 to 30 students per class. And here we are, we've admitted over 300 students.
Wow.
How many times do you break that class down within a period to teach them? So it's a whole lot of factors, but gradually we are putting the curriculum into that mode so that we are placing emphasis on the skill development. Now skill is a survivor.
Yeah.
Without that skill, you
You
can't.
can't.
Previously, you go to an interview, as Madame Jemima said, if you are able
Madam
to talk
Rosemary.
nicely, you get a job. When I graduated, even at the master's level, I went for an interview at KCCR in Kumasi. The moment we entered, they set up a laboratory set for us to go through before the interview.
Wow.
So until you pass that stage, you will not be
want to
called for
go
interview.
forward. Okay.
That was the first time. It was a shock because we've not experienced that before. The normal routine we know is that you present your nice CV, you write a good cover letter, you are called, you are able to mesmerize them, you've got a job.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. So we went through 2 practical trainings. That's part of the interview before we met the panel for the real-time interview.
Great.
So if students are aware that your skill will be tested, now their whole thinking and focus will be on the skill acquisition.
Yeah.
So assuming you take your car to the mechanical shop, the guy don't even know how to remove the tire. Outright, you begin to panic because your car will be damaged.
Yes.
And you will not be comfortable sending the car to that garage any longer. So this is the kind of people or students we want to train. We want to put their body, mind, and soul into the training. Their response to time management is a big trouble, especially for my school like this in the middle of town. How a student will move from Medina to Accra, they will always complain traffic. But the issue is, if you have been trained, if there's a job to grab, will you be late? Because already you are out. You never attended the interview.
That's true.
So it's a whole lot of factor. And this research is right. And we are addressing all those issues that have been raised in this particular. If it's not properly addressed, the graduate unemployment will keep rising. And it's sad to announce at this time what is happening in South Africa because of issues of unemployment.
Yes. But I think in your submission, you made mention of the number of intake that you bring in as to what your facilities could accommodate. But I mean, this is a bit personal as the dean. But I mean, if your facilities could accommodate, like you said, 25 to 30 students, I mean, why should the university bring in like 300 students? I mean, I think it's questionable. So if you could help us answer that question.
No, I was talking about it's 2 things. The school can manage the numbers by breaking it down.
Okay.
But now you also look at the duration for per class. So if we are strictly practicing the mode I mentioned, the CBT mode, ideally it should not exceed 30. So if you have 300, then it means you have divided by 300 by 30. You have that number of classes. So if your staffing is an issue,
then you have to increase your staffing.
But at times, as they say, government is the highest employer. And then when it comes to education too, government tries as much as possible to get everybody in school. Getting students or the youth in school reduces crime. So you are a bit compromised to
do that,
accept them to manage because the more you reject them, the more society have an issue to also solve.
Interesting.
So there's a ripple effect.
Interesting. I think I'll come to you, Miss Bella. I think I would also take your view on what you think the big gap is.
The gaps,
Yeah, the big
So
gap.
you mentioned
really.
theory, practical.
So I think practical, the soft
soft,
skills or the industry exposure.
Okay, so I'll take them one after the other. Coming to the practical, I think yes, the gap is there in terms of what the universities are doing. Using my experience, I didn't really have practical sessions back in school. It was more of theory than practical. So we had radio GIG, and I was just given one chance to work as at radio GIG as part of our practical session. When it comes to content writing articles, we were given just one chance to. It was even part of a class work to write an article. But I mean, these are the students, they need more practical sessions rather than the theory. It's a 4-year duration for undergrad. I think to me, the best practice will be maybe use 1.5 years for the theory sessions, and then the rest of the years will be for more practical sessions. And when it comes to the soft skills, so like Miss Rosemary mentioned, it's the upbringing of the students. Back in school, I mean, the teachers are trying. A teacher won't come to class and say, today I'm teaching you time management. Today I'm teaching you teamwork. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's about you, the person. The teachers are trying. They give group work. That is you working in a group. And with that, you are learning how to, be a team player. You are giving presentations. When you're able to come in front of this, you are learning how to give public speaking, stakeholders engagement, engaging the students among others. The teachers are trying to, also help you acquire these soft skills. But mind you, you go back in school, it's a group work. I mean, Isabella can do it. All my 5 years with my undergrad and masters, it was only one time that I had a very good group work that we were working as a group. All the time. I'm the one, because I'm time man, like I'm always very conscious about time, always want to give results. And so I always end up taking the whole role, even though I'm not a team leader. You see that I end up being the team leader. And so when it comes to soft skills, I think the universities are trying. Maybe it has to be more of the group work, more of discussions, more of presentations. Sometimes maybe the teacher can come to class and say, next week we are going to learn about creative writing, so go and read about it. When we come back, I am not teaching, come and teach the class. That is also a way of leadership skills. The students can acquire some leadership skills. And when it comes to industry, yes, also there's a gap with the university and the industry. So all my 4 years duration, I had just 2 months to go for an internship, and also just one time an industry player coming to the school to engage with the students. I think it has to be often. And with the internship, I know a student watching me wouldn't be happy me saying this, but I think you have to take the initiative. When you vacate, you are home. What are you doing? You can apply to an institution, an industry. I want to intern. They may not give you money, but it's your willingness to learn. Because when most times when the institutions are calling for vacancy, they are calling for people to apply. They know that these people are freshers coming from, but they add some experience. And this you can call as an experience, because you've had some internship period. I mean, even if it is 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, throughout the vacations period, you've acquired some skills, and then you have some experience. So I think the universities are trying, but there's still the gap in terms of industry linkages with the universities. I think it has to be often. Maybe if internship, you should ensure that the students are doing this at every vacation instead of going home. And the soft skills, I mean, it has to be often. Don't come and teach, read the slides, and then you give the slides to the teacher. Prof, forgive me. Maybe you should give opportunities for the students to also go and learn and come and teach the students. And then when it comes to the practical aspect too, same thing, there's a gap there.
Okay. Madam Rosemary, please, would you want to add something?
Yes, very much so. I like the angle from where she came. You see, so it's the mindset. She is naturally, she's hungry. She has the hunger in her belly. So she said, when you are on vacation and at home, take the initiative. Initiative. I spoke about initiative in my introduction. So you see, there are different types of people. Those who take the bull by the horn, and those who expect that they should be spoon-fed. The hunger in your belly is what will determine how far you can go. Really.
Okay.
I moderated a session on, so it's a It was a Leap Youth Summit.
Okay.
It was a free event.
Okay.
We had over 300 people registering. About 200 plus showed up. I can tell you on authority, the program was supposed to start at 9. We said 8:30 for registration and all of those things. And 9 we start. At 9, all the panelists were in. I was in. Those who were, it's my Rotary Club and Christ the King that curated the program. But the people, the beneficiaries were just sauntering in, like a drop, every now and then a drop. It was around 10.
Wow.
Yeah, so we end up starting around 10, a little after 10 instead of.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? You have an opportunity to learn and be mentored, glean knowledge.
Yes.
And it didn't cost you anything. But then you decide that you will come in at your own time. So time management is also another thing. The mindset is what we should work on. So to Prof, maybe this is not maybe, this is something you should also look at in the classroom. I like what the lecturer in IPS is doing. There's a lecturer, I'm not sure what the course of discipline is.
Okay.
But they've started with clothing.
Yeah.
How you present yourself in class. Because you see, that's how it starts.
Yeah.
Then you tune on. By the time you're out of school, you know this is the way to go.
Yes.
So for me, when you are talking about industry and classroom, these are the practical things we can actually apply.
Okay. So many, I mean, when you want to,
So to add to what Madam Rosemary said, especially for my class, for instance, because it's mostly practical, laboratory based, you come well dressed. So I always have this frame. You don't enter my class naked. So nakedness means your shoe is open-ended or slippers, which is not permitted. If it's a lady, your hair must be tied, pony. So I always tell them, I love ponytails.
Oh, okay.
Because if the hair is flowing, it will be clearing the laboratory decks. You'll be breaking glasswares. The nails, I hate acrylic. So once the laboratory is in session, all these things must be observed because you are working with chemicals. If it's microbiology, we'll be working with microorganisms. And the rate of cross-contamination, you can fall sick in the lab by carrying microorganisms home. So all these are practices. And then when it comes to the dress, or already you have the laboratory coat, you are covered. So beyond that, you extend. Sometimes you have to play nicely at first. And then you put them in the shape that this dress cannot go for an interview. So think about where you are going. It's not a night party. It's not a beach party. It's an interview. You are coming to class. So I don't give free marks to people who are naked in my class. So when you start like that, they begin to laugh. Some will start to conform. Others, you realize they can never be changed. And we don't lash because of dressing. So unless the school have a strict policy on dressing, you just decide to leave those who don't want to conform. And then you manage those who
are ready to change.
It's a big challenge when it comes to dressing and then time management. And they always want to have an excuse why they are late. Lateness is a big. So when you were speaking, I was just imagining how one day we can overcome that. It's a big issue. And especially when the program is even free.
Yes, because you're not paying for it.
They don't feel compelled to respect the person paying for that program. It's a big challenge.
Okay. All right. So let me still be on you, Prof. According to a 2024 report by the Digital Strategy Institute, fewer than 5% of young Africans possess advanced digital skills, even as employers increasingly demand them. Now, the question here is, are universities adequately preparing students for digital and future job markets? Or is there an expectation that students must acquire these skills independently?
No. So I have this scenario. A student who carries an iPhone and cannot carry a laptop is not fit for purpose. That is it. Some of the things you need the basic laptop. I2, I3, not the I5s and 7s. So there is someone who is carrying an iPhone, which is expensive, and a laptop, and the person cannot type Microsoft Word. So universities are moving from laboratories where they put computers in to providing spaces where you bring your own device. The universities now just need a projector for PowerPoint, and then the students sit, follow instructions, and then manage your own work.
Okay.
So it's again, it's a big challenge. Very big challenge, because they even go to the extent of typing their assignments on a mobile phone.
Yes. And taking notes on the mobile phone.
And when it is not properly aligned, they tell you it is the printer.
Interesting. Okay.
So in fact, we have a lot of issues we are dealing with. The universities, and this is not an issue that is just related to my university. It's nationwide.
Okay.
And we are again hoping one day we'll cross this barrier.
Okay. All right. Let me come to you, Ms. Bella. I think in your earlier submission, you made mention of some of the practical things that you're able to do, like radio GIG. The fact that you just didn't have a lot of just one opportunity. Good. Do you believe that universities are overly focused on theoretical education? And what do you think would be more practical to learn looking at the institutions that we work in?
So it depends on the field. If you're in the technical school, I think maybe you may have more opportunity to do practices. But we, the management, the comms, and among others, unless maybe you want to be a technical person, that's when NAFTI is providing this cameraman, sound engineering. But my part, I didn't really have the practical aspect. So I would say yes, they are a bit more tuned to the theory than the practice. And I want to touch on the digital aspect as well. So my time, I didn't really have opportunity where a teacher would say maybe as a communicator or a PR person or even a manager for a TV unit, these are some tools, some digital tools. Maybe at that time it was not there, but I didn't really have the opportunity. But currently there are a lot of things that you can work with as a communicator. Even in terms of time management, we have Trello that we're not taught. We were not taught how to use in school. But I mean, as and when you are working and also engaging with your peers and other institutions, you get to know some of these too. So yes, currently we are moving from the manual, from the traditional way of learning and teaching to the digital aspect. So maybe our professors, teachers, dean, maybe you can try and get some of these. I know that teachers want students to suffer, to learn, to open their book and read to memorize and come in, because they know that the digital makes it easier for them to. But this is what is currently happening. So we need to incorporate it in our teaching. So back to the question, I think it's the practice is not there, depending on the field you go to. When maybe in the technical aspect, they get more practical sessions. But from my side, I got the theory more than the practice.
Okay, so we almost coming to the end, but briefly, I would want you all to talk about the roles that we think employers, industry players could help in shaping university curricula, student skills, every aspect of it. So I'll still be on you, Bella.
Industries, well, to me, I would say they are ready to accept you, depending on who you want to be and depending on how you want to, be in the field. They are ready to accept you so far as you are a learner, you're an achiever, you have the personal or the soft skills. Maybe what they can do is, sometimes I may be willing to do more internship, but I may not have the income. But because you are doing internship, they won't pay you. So maybe some small allowances to the student to motivate them to come and learn, and also making time to go to the schools to engage. What I noticed is so my time when the industry player came, he just came to say what the teachers are doing is good. When you come to the market, this and this is what, but they didn't really make it practical. They didn't really make us feel what is out there. And so maybe they have to they shouldn't conform to what the teacher is saying. They shouldn't
Yes.
make the teacher happy to say that, oh, they are
Positive,
saying I'm
yeah.
doing well. Let the students know the difficulties
What?
in it.
Okay.
Let them know that maybe you're a communicator. When you come, there's a possibility that they may make you be a project manager.
Yeah.
They may even make you hold a camera. They may make you be
Mhm.
a producer, step in as a
Yeah.
producer for someone. All these are
Mhm.
some of the things students face when they go out there. And so
Okay.
they should make it real rather than
Mhm.
nice.
Massaging it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll come to you, Madam Rosemary.
So the collaboration between industry and the classroom should be strengthened.
Mhm.
I realized that in Ghana, the universities will only allow you internship opportunities from third year.
Mhm.
I believe this should start from high school.
Okay.
Before you go to the university, you see, these are things that shape the mindset and your thinking, your outlook on the job space.
Yes.
And it helps you find your feet as to whether you want to be an entrepreneur, do something on your own in future, or work in corporate under someone. Always working under someone before you even become an entrepreneur is good, because you would have worked in a structured environment. So you
Yes.
learn
Some structure.
work ethic.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
learn skills that ordinarily you were unable to teach yourself if you start
Yes.
out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the internship opportunity should begin from the beginning. So if you're having conversations with industry or organizations, so the internship opportunity should begin from there. When you are done with SSS or high school and you are
Yes.
home for that 3 months, what are you doing? Even if you get an opportunity for 1 month, I realize that some schools are doing it now, especially international schools.
Yeah.
The organizations are just not allowing it because they say at that point, what are you coming to do? But the person needs an exposure.
Yeah.
So once the conversations are started and we know what the end goal is, organizations are more willing to collaborate with the university organizations. And some come from needy backgrounds. So they may not
Yes.
necessarily have what it takes to buy the shoes or the kind of apparel they need within that.
Yes.
But you should be seen to be doing something for someone to go out of their way to help
To
you.
help you. That's
So for
true.
me, it's the mindset. We should also, the collaboration should be strengthened, and we should start the internship much earlier than waiting till third year. Third year for 2 months. What does that do? It doesn't do much.
Okay, I'll come
Okay,
to you,
so
Prof.
for Accra Technical University, because of the changes that is coming up in our curriculum, in internship really starts from first year.
Okay.
And then we have strengthened this with a collaboration from industry. We call it the PAC, Program Advisory Committee. So Program Advisory Committee include membership of industry person, and then the staff, that's the teaching staff.
Yeah.
So we have designed it in such a way that they have their meetings, they have an input, even beyond. So for curriculum, for instance, you qualify to amend it to about 30% based on the needs. So let's say previously there's nothing like AI in the curriculum. Now AI is trending. The students need to know.
Yes.
So you factor it in and teach them now until the curriculum is due for reaccreditation. Then you officially put that as a course in it. So new things are happening. We are embracing it. And we are working so that the students we produce will be fit for purpose, especially when it comes to our relationship with industry.
Yes, that's great. Thank you all so much. It's been a fruitful conversation. So this has been African Student Voices, and we discuss the gap between degree and skills. And of course, it's been an interesting conversation looking at how, industries have students coming in, how they adjust, and what universities are equally doing, and how practical we think the university should focus on, especially when it comes to the courses that they offer. My name is Chimai Madaladem Doche, and you can follow the AAU's pages on Facebook and YouTube at Association of African Universities. Have a nice day.